If younger me had this and understood, I would be killing it right now. I actually got it at Five and Below, so it was a $5 pickup. I think it's a pretty sweet grab if you're out and about. When I was in the military, if I would have kept my thrift savings plan, I would have actually invested the way that they had laid out, it would have been way better for me. But I knew nothing about investing. I had nobody teaching me. I had access to the tools, but I never really knew how to use them. So now I'm learning how to use them, and this absolutely crushed it for giving me basic knowledge and information on finance. There's quite a bit in here that I didn't know. I think it's really great because it touches on a lot of basic concepts that aren't exactly common sense. So it really touches into how you need to have an emergency fund, how important that is to have an emergency fund. And everybody's emergency fund is different, so you're gonna have to sit down and calculate that and figure out what your bills are and what that means to you. The other things that it touched on was automating money, and I think that's super important to figure out how to grow your money tree. That's what I'm focused on right now in my life. I've got a couple of avenues that are starting to develop and that I've worked on, and it's just gonna keep growing from there. The next thing it covers that I think is really important, highlight really the three main points of this book, and investing, even if it's small. Right now I invest pretty small. I think I invest an average of like $10 to $15 a day, and I'm diversified with a little bit of crypto, and then I'm just getting into some mutual funds and some other things that I honestly don't really know enough about to sit here and speak on right now. So I'm gonna be learning and sharing and documenting my journey along the way, and I'm gonna kind of be giving reviews on things that I think are valuable and that bring value. And of course, it will help support the channel and keep me motivated and keep me going, moving forward. Aside from all that, I'm really interested in growing financially and growing as an individual and really putting assets into my horizon, because I wanna grow and I want to leave things for my children, and I want to teach my children the things that I was never taught. I could have avoided a lot of hardship financially if I would have paid attention. My mom taught me some basic stuff, and it's really carried with me over the years. I've thought about it and been able to go back. So it's kind of like planting a seed. That's like the whole concept of the money tree, and you'll hear me talk about that a lot because that's what we're working on. And the idea of it is to continue to grow and to continue to develop over the years. That way we can learn how to use our debt like wealthy people, and we can optimize our taxes and really know what we're doing with our finances and what we're doing with our money and how to get the best return. So that's what we're looking at. I am still focused on trading and other content and figuring out my groove. I don't really know what my algorithm or my pattern is gonna be. I'm gonna try for 2 for sure videos a week, and then I'll try to do another one if I'm feeling it. But I am a full-time dad. I am a part-time trader, analyzing full-time-ish, not, you know what I mean, whatever. I'm a day trader, night trader. I trade the markets, I trade micro gold, and that's what I'm learning on. And I'm looking at some other things possibly, but I'm just now getting to a place where I'm able to coach myself and really dial in on my strategy that I am developing and being disciplined. So I'm trying to make sure that I really have that honed in before I get in front of the camera and start talking about it, because I only know what I've learned and I'm willing to share that, but it's not financial advice. None of this is. This is just my opinion and me wanting to help bring value and awareness to others and maybe influence a little bit on the more positive side of things. There's a lot of negativity, and often I'm drawn into it and I really have to fight to stay positive. And so I'm just trying to do my part in staying positive and putting value in the world where I can be good. And I really try to fight that other side of me that gets angry and frustrated when I see things on the news that is really displeasing to the human race. But for another conversation, perhaps. I really think that you should get this if you know nothing of finance, or if you have an 18-year-old who's just getting out in the world, or anybody that you want to bring a little bit of value and insight to that you think will listen. If you're at Five Below, grab this. Pay attention to the other books that they have written. They have a lot of basic value. So some of this might not be valuable to somebody who perhaps is leveled up past the things I'm discussing right now with the money tree. You've already got systems, you've already got income, you've already got the books read, you already know what you're doing. You're gonna wanna skip over this part because this video isn't for you. With that said, I also think that every level can learn something from every level. No matter where you're at in life, you can learn from people who may be above you or people who may be behind you and not quite where you're at yet. You know what I mean? So, and then there's people who are on the same page as you and where you're at. So you just really pay attention to your life, be aware what you're doing, and contribute to yourself, invest in yourself, and think about what's next. Think about the things that you want to achieve. Think about what you want to accomplish and what you want to do with your time in the world. And yeah, just be good, try to be good to people, and find your groove. Oh, also, I've been working on an ebook. I've actually been working on 2 ebooks, but I've had to slow down. One of them I've worked on recently for the past week, and I kind of wanted to make a video on showing how to use AI to create things, and I ended up making a cool ebook about AI, teaching extremely new people, because I was talking to my neighbor, he had no idea what ChatGPT was, and I realized that there's room to teach people right now about AI. So I created a book and I used AI, but I ended up getting really involved and detailed, so I'm only gonna go over snippets and just kind of explain what I did and why I did that and how I ended up with that outcome. It's also a toolkit you can use to reference back to, and you can use it for prompts and to create prompts and to like build your arsenal and the things that you want to utilize AI for. So that way you don't get replaced. A lot of people worry about it replacing your jobs, and it's going to replace some jobs, but it's also going to help a lot of people optimize themselves and jobs. And we're going to go into a whole new era of education and learning and teaching. So it's going to be crazy. It's going to be wild. I'm going to do my part to try and learn and teach those that are around me if they're interested in a way that I know how. This is new to me. I'm not a teacher. I'm just a dude. I'm just a dad trying to make content and figure things out. So if you're here, thanks for tuning in, and go check out this book. Much love.